This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I am here, the man who's a bit of a legend in winemaking circles all across the world. I'm here with Charles Smith. Charles, how are you today?
I'm great, fresh off a plane.
And this is actually your 51st day of traveling around?
This is the last day of the tour, day 51. Finish up a little lunch tomorrow and fly down to Palm Springs, California.
I hope you have a break after.
I am going to have a break, some sunshine and some fresh air and maybe a little swim in the pool.
Sounds good to me. Now, you make a shitload of wine.
That's what some people call it.
But I would, shed load would be the
shitload.
I was wondering if you could tell us what the overarching storyline was between all of those different wines.
Well, the wine philosophy is I make wine for everybody, and that's really the idea, is that everything should be of the same purity and balance, whether it be reasonably priced wine to very high accolade expensive wine, and that I think that the communication, I'm very known for the bottles, the labels.
Yes.
And also the idea is I'm a classic traditional style winemaker making classic style wine, but the communication is modern because I started my winery in 1999 in contemporary times, and that's what I communicate.
Now, you're originally from Sacramento.
Yeah.
But you're now based in Walla Walla and source grapes from all over the state there.
Oh yeah.
What makes Washington State so special for you? Why do you think it makes some of the best wines in the world?
Well, we're the same latitude as like Bordeaux, and so you have a long growing season and long daylight during summer, and you know, there's a lot of pioneer spirit because not all the dirt has been turned over yet, and there's still things to be discovered. And I really like making wine out there. You got to be committed. If you're going to live 300 miles away from any major city, you must be wanting to make wine. But then now I have a new winery actually in Seattle called Charles Smith Wines Jet City. It's on the north end of Boeing Field in Seattle, and it's the largest urban winery on the West Coast.
And that's sourcing grapes from all over again?
Well, yeah, it's from all the same vineyards. I just moved my small batch winemaking from Walla Walla to Seattle. Obviously, you can't move the growing because the grapes are in the earth, and you can't really move the earth. So.
Now, you do make some biodynamic wines. How does biodynamic agriculture work up in Washington State?
It works great. I mean, you know, it's a lot of work, but the results are there. And you know, I'm sustainable to biodynamic on everything. So it's always been the focus on the vineyard, make sure that we just do the good work.
Now, one of your most prolific wines, I would say, possibly one of your biggest productions, is Kung Fu Girl Riesling. Mm-hmm. How did that wine come about? It's actually my sister back in Scotland's favourite wine right now.
Well, last night was my favourite wine too. I drank copious amounts of it. The reason why is, once again, Riesling is highly drinkable. A lot of people think Riesling equals sweet. I don't think Riesling, for me, Riesling equals delicious. So this wine is mineral, fresh, clean, pure, long on the palate. And once again, that's the idea that everybody should have access to good wine no matter how much money they have. And I think wine is ultimately a beverage. And Kung Fu Girl, if anything, it's a delicious beverage made from Riesling grapes.
And is that your largest production wine?
It is my largest production wine.
Right, and those grapes are sourced from the Columbia Valley. What does the Columbia Valley bring to Riesling?
Well, it's actually a sub-area called the Ancient Lakes, and it's actually a single vineyard. It's probably the largest single vineyard bottling in the world, over 200,000 cases. And it's just an amazing site on a bluff above the Columbia River, one of the greatest waterways in North America. And it's all soils of fragmented basalt and limestone, and it hangs for a long time, develops deep, beautiful flavors, and I mean, it's a lot of wine for the money, that's for sure.
Now, how are your wines accepted the world over? Where are your biggest markets?
Well, of course, the U.S. naturally, 50 states. Very popular in Canada, across Canada, and also very big in Scandinavia, in Northern Europe, hugely popular. For example, in this country of Finland, this last year they bought 14,000 cases of Kung Fu Girl. Obviously, the Finns like it.
And what's next for Charles Smith?
Going home.
Apart from that, in the world of wine, what new projects do you have on the go?
No, I'm just really going to flesh out my new winery, Jet City, and make it more, you know, inviting for people to come. You know, be multiple things with live music, food events. I'm going to have a rosé festival this summer, and I want a parade. And I want to lead the parade with my own punk rock marching band, which I don't have one as of yet, but I'm sure, you know, I'm in Seattle. I'm sure if we can't get one in Seattle, I'm sure there's one in Portland.
Charles Smith, thank you for joining us in Toronto, and safe travels home.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye for now.